going on, everyone? SHTF here. Time for a little truck talk on my way home. How's everyone doing? 66 degrees here in New Hampshire today. Pretty nice out. Like I said, I just got out of work. So overall, figure I'm going to cover a couple topics. We'll start with food storage. So just with what's going on in the world right now, we got the port shut down due to the strike. That's not looking good. We've got Israel and Lebanon and Iran. That's a real ugly story. That's going to be possible World War III. And of course, we have here in America, we have the election. So, which is kind of crazy. I mean, that debate last night was, I don't even know what to say. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Maybe I'll post something separately on the debate when I get home. But food storage. So just talking to some family and friends about food storage. Just a couple things I want to hit. So, when we talk about food storage, a lot of times what everyone's talking about is, long-term food storage, like rice and beans. And although rice and beans is fairly cheap, easily storable, stores for a long time, it's, try to eat rice and beans every day. It's not really palatable. I would even say in a survival situation, you're not going to do it either. You're going to pass on a lot of meals if all you have is rice and beans. So, with that being said, I wouldn't say don't stockpile a shitload of rice and beans. What I would say is you have to prep stuff that you eat. So, if you eat chicken and steak, you gotta figure out a way to get chicken and steak. Whether you're buying, prepackaged freeze-dry foods, whether you're, dehydrating and trying to store it that way, whether you have a harvest rate, or access to a harvest rate where you can freeze-dry your own stuff and make your own food. But, those are a bunch of options. The next option is your regular canned meat. So your regular canned chicken, beef, roast beef, tuna, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that will stay good in the cans for a lot of years, even past expiration date. So I wouldn't sleep on that. Like, I have a lot of it, and I do have a harvest right too. But there's different levels of preparedness. So for me, there's my long-term food storage. There's my intermediate food storage. There's my pantry and my extended pantry. And that's how I roll. So you look at it like your pantry is exactly how it is. So you have your pantry, whatever that is to you. Whether it's one of your bedrooms converted, your basement, or you have a small pantry or a large pantry in your kitchen, and that's where you have all your stuff. So, that's your pantry. Your intermediate pantry is, your extended pantry. Your extended pantry. So your extended pantry is somewhere else inside of your home that you're keeping, your food storage or your preps. So, like for me, I have my pantry, which is, I consider all of my cupboards and a room of my house. Then my extended pantry, I have other locations at my home where I have overflow of certain things that need to get rotated out, moved around, or it's sitting idle till I can, find room or reconfigure something in order to get it all stored. From there, you have, long-term food storage. So your long-term food storage, for me, that's stuff that's sealed, wrapped up, oxygen absorbers inside of its vessel or whatever kind of 5-gallon pail or whatever you have, and that's put away. So that's stuff that could be in a different part of your house. That's something that could be stacked up under your stairs. That's something that could be in it. Just if you have a big pantry or a big basement, that's stacked up against the wall because in your basement it's cool. To me, that's kind of like what I consider your levels of food storage and how your plan works. Because everyone's plan is going to be a little bit different. Some people may not have the means to get that amount of food, or they just have not been preparing for a lot of years. Like a lot of people see, people's prepper pantries, and they think they're all like rich. Oh, they got all this stuff. No, they've probably just been doing it for 20 years. A little bit every week for 20 years adds up to a lot of stuff. So, prepping doesn't have to be all, I'm going to put all this on my credit card and I'm going to buy everything, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, back to the pantry items. So, like I said, your pantry should be, to me, like 3 months, 3 to 6 months. I try to have 3 to 6 months of food that I like to eat inside of my pantry. My extended pantry is, that's where you're going to start seeing a lot of, for me, freeze-dried foods. Rice, freeze-dried foods. You're going to see all the canned chickens, all the canned beefs, all the stuff that I want to eat next. And then from there, we go into long-term. So long-term for me is rice, beans, oats, lentils, lots of stuff that I freeze-dried over the years, lots of pasta, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I have basically everything needed freeze-dried that I can pretty much make anything, up to including pizza dough. So I like to be set up that way in those three layers of preparedness. A few other things to consider is, do you have animals? Are you prepping for your animals? Like in my house, we have, just domestic animals, cats and dogs. So for us, if I'm going to have 6 months of food for the wife and I'm going to have 6 months of food for the rest of the animals in the house. So that's something to keep in consideration when you get a pet. If you're a prepper, you better be prepping for that animal, or there's really no use in you getting it, because everyone knows the world's going to turn upside down, and if you're getting animals now you're not going to take care of, in my opinion, you're a scumbag. But that's just me. So make sure you have, feed for your domestic animals, as well as any of your animals on your homestead. So whether you have chickens, ducks, goats, sheep, rabbits, whatever you have, you got to have feed. So that's just something to consider when you're going to get domestic pets, and or you're going to homestead. Because if you can't afford to have the animals and then have 6 months of food for it on hand, you're not ready to get the animals, despite how ready you think you're going to be or how cute it is. Because if you can't take care of them, they're not going to produce. And then what are you going to do? You're going to get chicks to get chickens to get eggs, to run out of feed, to not have enough food for you, to then kill the chicken, when you could have saved up a little longer, got yourself ahead on the feed, and then when the crap hit the fan, you had 6-7 months worth of feed, and then you went out, you cut that back a little bit, and then you stretch it for a year with everything you're trying to give them, grass and all that other stuff you're going to throw in there, and then you could have had all that protein with eggs. And then if you get to that point, then you can slaughter the chickens. But all I'm trying to say is there's a lot more to the prepping part of being a prepper and a homesteader than I saw this on TV or I saw this on YouTube and I've got this, so I'm good. Rest assured, you're not good. So that's some food for thought right there. If you're going to have animals, definitely want to take care of them, because they're going to take care of you. You're going to have dogs. Dogs are going to keep, they're alert. They're going to let me know what's going on. They're going to let me know if there's people on my property or whatever's going on. So You want to make sure you take care of them. Same thing with any of your animals on your homestead. You take care of them, they'll take care of you. That's just the way it goes in life, you know. A couple of other things. So inside of your pantry, I didn't really cover, you know, we talked a lot about what to buy. Some skills that you're going to want to know are canning. And when I say canning, I mean all canning. Knowing how to water bath can is not really canning. That's boiling water, putting your jar on it, and throwing your sauce in there and your jelly and calling it done. Water bath canning, steam canning, and pressure canning. Critical skill. Critical prepper skill. And if you don't know how to can, now's the time. Find a canner. Borrow a canner. If you can't afford one, ask around. There's probably somebody that has one, or their grandmother had it and it's in the basement. They don't even want it. They'll give it to you. But start learning to can. Get books. If you can't afford books, the internet's free. Go on YouTube. You can watch anything you want to know about canning, anything you want to can. Take notes and learn. Because if it gets ugly, you're going to need to know how to can. You're going to need to have canning jars. You're going to need to have bands and lids. It's my opinion. Because if things are that bad, you're probably going to have rolling power outages. There's going to be all kinds of things going on. What are you going to do with all this meat you bought to prep? You can't freeze dry it. You can't water bath can it. You got to pressure can it. Do you have a pressure canner? Or access to a pressure canner? Outside of that, I mean, that's like the biggest thing to me. Knowing other skills, like how to make jerky and dehydrating and all that stuff, yeah, that's all great. I like to learn new skills every week if I can. But I just feel that knowing how to can, it's a skill that every American should have. Food preservation is life. And if you don't know how to do it, then you're going to lose all your spoils and you're going to lose all that money. And you're going to be in a bad position, all because you didn't want to figure out a way to learn that skill. The other thing, sometimes when you're trying to build up a stockpile of food quick, is you can always try to get a couple of other, friends of yours, family members, like-minded people. There's plenty of people out there where you do all your canning and all your food preservation together and then split it. That seems to work well with some people. For me, that's not something I'm interested in, but I do know a lot of people that did do that, and it just helped them learn skills and get their canning and their food storage and all that packing done faster. Because, what are we, 30-something days away from the election, where Israel could be, bombing Iran's nuclear facility as early as tonight. And I'm on Eastern Standard Time. There's just a lot of crap going on right now. And I'm not sure why food storage is not one of the most important things on everybody in America's brain right now. Is, am I even going to be able to get anything in a couple of weeks or a month? If that union stays out, you should be getting that now. Start stocking it in your house, and then start getting it all ready, getting it put away, ordering some Mylar bags, ordering some oxygen absorbers, have a way to seal all that stuff, learn how to can, like I said. These skills are just so critical. I hate to keep beating a dead horse on it, but my nerves are high, with what's going on in the world. And I would hope, if you're listening to me yap, that yours are too. And you're just looking for someone to help you out or give you a little bit of guidance, or, talk about a topic in which you're trying to learn. So don't take anything I told you as negative if you haven't started, but there's nothing wrong with tonight. What else? So we talked about pantries. We talked about different types of food storage. We talked about canning. I guess the last piece, and very important, is water. What's your setup for water? There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You could buy bottled water. You could fill up empty bottles of whatever that you're drinking, juice or soda, if you're drinking any of that crap. You can fill that with water. You can go to Walmart and buy, 5-gallon or 2.5-gallon water containers. You can find some, food safe big water totes. You can find some 55-gallon water barrels that are food safe. Store that in your garage. That's a good one. A lot of times if you go on like Facebook Marketplace or search online, you can find someone that sells them, anywhere from 15 to probably 25 bucks. And you just want to know what's in it. And if they were food grade, rinse them out, clean them out with a little bleach, wash them out again, and they're safe to put water in. You get a couple of them, put them in your garage, you could quickly have a couple 100 gallons of water that you have on demand when you need it. But you got to have water. Another thing is, you got to know how to disinfect the water. So you may have to do that. So you got to have some type of water purification, whether it's a tablet or even bleach, that you may need to do. You may have to boil it. And if you have to boil it, what are you going to use? You got a big enough pan. Well, if you have canners, you definitely have big enough pans where you can fill them up with water. Boil the water if you need to. But food and water is critical. I think that's all I got for right now. So I'll pop back on later. But anyway, if you're not preparing, I'm not sure what to say. Yeah, you got to take this seriously, guys. The world's ugly right now. There's a lot going on, and I think we're about to see something that modern America hasn't seen in a very, very long time. And it's going to be eye-opening. So please, get ahead of it. So with that, I'm going to close it out. This is SHTF. Please, if you haven't subscribed and you like my little talks, my rants, my videos, and my shorts and all that stuff, please, I'm a new channel. Hit me a like. Hit me up with a comment. And hopefully if you see any more of my videos, you'll pop on my channel or give me a listen and see if you can pick up anything at all from what I'm saying or ranting or whatever. But anyway, again, this is SHTF. I'm going to get out of here for right now. Keep prepping.